I am USA man. That's what's working for this channel. It works. It's a formula. If I put USA man in the title, mixed with you looking at this thumbnail of this face, which clearly belongs to any average man in the nation of Spain, but he speaks with an American accent. It's puzzling, it's fascinating, it's engaging, and people want to watch these videos. They cannot resist seeing the suggested feed you may like on YouTube. They can't not click this face. Let's get to work. Something that is reoccurring on my channel daily. I get this comment at least once on one of the many videos I've made on this channel. This is just randomly the newest one. This just came in. I decided I'm gonna go ahead and just shoot this video now since this is so fresh. I made a video called "Why Are Some Mexican Men Named Jesus or Israel?" And here's a comment that just came in. Quote, "Don't know if this has been answered, but this has to do with the Umayyad conquest of Hispania to contrast the Islamic people naming everybody after the Prophet Muhammad." See, I didn't know that. That's awesome. That's the first time I've really got such an answer that makes sense. Thank you. See, that would have been a great response and that would have been a great end to it, but it kept going. "You need to Google and travel more. It seems you want to learn more." So I get that a lot. So people will watch a video. They'll actually be quite insightful and tell me exactly what I'm asking. But then it's like not a barbed compliment, but it's like, here's your help, but then I'm gonna slap you on the face too as I help you. So it's funny because it's almost like people get triggered. They get upset for the fact that I don't know the answer. So imagine asking someone a question and then you get the answer, but they're like, you should know better. You should be smarter than that. Well, why do you think I'm asking other than to learn? But people love to say, you should do your research. That's one of my favorite comments I get all the time. You should do your research. When this is just a casual thing for me anyway. I'm just having conversations with people. But it's funny that people can't just answer the question without saying, you should do your research. What do you think I'm doing right now? Yeah, I could Google, but let's be honest. I'm very upfront about this. I make money from these videos. I make money from you, from the ads that show, I'm a talk show host. That's all I am. So I make money from being a talk show host on YouTube. That's what it comes down to. But it's funny because they always say too, you should travel more. You ignorant American, you should do your research, you should travel more. So here's my ultimate question. Let me tell you the places I've traveled and let's see if that's enough for you, okay? So just to be clear, I have traveled to Ecuador, Trinidad, Tobago, obviously Canada, South Korea, Thailand, I spent 2 summers there, and New Zealand. So I have traveled many countries. Now geographically speaking, I've traveled literally all the way to the other side of the world more than once. No, I have never been to Europe. And I did not know certain things about how the world works. True, and I'm not good at world geography because in the United States, it's not something that is important in our education system. It does not lead to us actually making a better living and career for us. It's just the truth. People outside the United States struggle with that fact, but it is true. It's not important for our education. It doesn't help us in the world of how we're making a living here in the United States to be so well versed on that. That's just the way it is. But the whole point of this is, have I not traveled enough to impress anybody? I think there's a good chance I've actually traveled further than most people have, no matter what country they're from. I mean, I get it. If you're in Europe, it's easier to travel to other countries because they're so close together. Like here in the United States, the states are so close together. But just imagine, where I live in the United States, yes, I've traveled to the country above us. I have traveled to Trinidad and Tobago and Ecuador, south of here. Then I've traveled all the way to Asia, to South Korea, and then twice, separate trips, spent 2 summers in Thailand. And while I was there, I mainly was in Bangkok, but I also traveled up to Chiang Mai, up north, and down south in Koh Samui. And New Zealand. I've traveled very far away into different cultures where they had different religions and spoke different languages. So it's funny because actually I've traveled a lot. I think compared to most people watching these videos, I've probably traveled further than most people. And there's a good chance I've traveled further than most people in the United States, having traveled all those countries. So it's just funny though to think the mentality is, I'm just having these casual conversations, asking you questions, and then you answer me, but then you're like, you should do your research. You should travel more. You're ignorant. But it's like, I feel like I have traveled a lot. Your comments belong right here.